Words cannot express how disappointed I am with Felix Nemesha this year. He was our main man last season, a player signed for £5 million, who had 15 goals and 8 assists, had a 7.28 rating. This year, he's not scored, and I've dropped him. And this is the lineup we have been using more and more frequently this year. Using Zach Hyen in the centre of the midfield, Drago has moved across to play that Felix role. And out on the left-hand side, Diomande, slowly but surely making a name for himself, recently scored his first goal for the Ivory Coast national team. Welcome back to Union Berlin, everyone. We are currently third in the Bundesliga. We are also at the end of October. I've played a fair few matches, lots to catch you up on. Let's run the intro and get into things, shall we? Yes, gang, we are back. Welcome back to episode number 22 of Building Berlin. Since you were last here are the games. We got off to a really good start to the season. We beat Cologne last episode, that heroic turnaround. Max Modstedt with the goal, a player who has, well, to be honest, developed absolutely insanely. Has been playing more and more frequently in the first team as well in the league games. You can see here, been putting in some pretty good performances for a £3.4 million signing. And whilst he hasn't scored many match winners, he's been actively involved, and we've been actively involved in a mixed bag of results, which started off with a great winning run. We beat Hertha Berlin 1-0, local rivals, Alex Scott with the goal there. We then completed the month of August unbeaten in the league with 3 wins on the board, beating Bochum away from home. As you can see here, Zach Hyen got a goal. Nets was the assister. Zach Hyen then crossed the ball to Tarun Origa, who got his first and only goal so far in Union Berlin colours. More recently, I think the games have got more difficult. European football's come into the fray as well, and form has dropped a little bit. One of these games, though, a draw that I think we can be proud of. This result against Bayern Munich. This game finished 3-3. We came back from behind in it. Zach Hyen with a hat-trick of assists. As you can see, though, we didn't make things easy for ourselves. We conceded in the, latter stages of the first half, and then we conceded another from a penalty right before half-time. 2-0 down at the break. We got shouty. A response within the first 10 minutes got me optimistic. Drago threaded through. Tidy little finish by him. At 2-1, I thought, well, this is now going to be us getting and going, isn't it? Wasn't to be the case. Ball whipped in, set-piece goal, not how you want to concede, and 2 goals down against Bayern Munich at home. We knew it was going to be a tall task. That said, we did make a comeback. Kraus, take a bow. An insane first-time finish, and then in, the very depths of this game, right at the death, we got another. Zach Hyen playing the ball through. Morstead to the rescue. I said he didn't score many goals for wins. That one there rescued a point. Of course, we are also in the Europa League this year. We got off to a great little start with a 2-1 win against Valencia. 2-0 up at half-time. They got a goal back, but we held on for the result. First defeat of the season in the league came against Hoffenheim away from home, but we did bounce back against Freiburg. Of course, Freiburg, team who beat us on the last day of last season to get Champions League football over us. A deserved win here, but it did require a very late goal. Morstead turned provider in this one, but to be honest, this was all about the finish. Malik Tillman, the American international, dinking it over the keeper. That got us a really important win against Freiburg. They were going strong at the top of the table, and I hoped off the back of that, with some tricky games on the horizon, we'd do okay. As you can see, since that game, we've not won. We haven't lost either. Having already taken on Valencia, we knew that the Tottenham game in the Europa League was another tricky game. Of course, this is the expanded Europa League format where there's more matches. You play against a wider variety of teams. We've got 2 of the more difficult games out the way now. Doesn't really explain what happened in this game. 4-4. We scored in the 91st minute to make it 4-3, and I thought we'd win the game, and then Skip scored in the 93rd. minute. 2 goals after, the official showed his board at the end of the game for how much added time there was. That said, I think 4-4 is probably a fair reflection of how this game went. Some good finishing on display. Give Nemesha some credit. Great to see him back on the score sheet, coming back from injury. So far for him, I want to say so good. He's not yet scored in the league. And perhaps it's his lack of goals that can be attributed to the fact that in our most recent games, a 1-1 draw against bottom of the table Darmstadt was followed up after an international break with a 1-1 draw against Eintracht Frankfurt. Here is how the Bundesliga table is looking at the moment. We're in 3rd place, Stuttgart, a surprise package at the top of the table. You can see here 3 teams on 15 points, and one of them is ourselves. The other teams are Leipzig and Werder Bremen. Elsewhere, usual suspects in Leverkusen and Bayern Munich are up there a little bit. I mean, there is, 3 points separating top from 9th? At the moment, it's actually crazy how close the league is. I haven't really drank that in enough, I feel like I milked it. This league is absolutely ridiculous. One team a little off the pace, at least at the moment, is Borussia Dortmund. We are going to be playing them into today's episode, but not before we have the very small matter of Celtic in the Europa League. It's a European away day. It's a special occasion. We are going to head to Celtic Park for it. We've done Rangers before in a Work the Space series. We've never been to this side of Glasgow. So today, we're going to make that pilgrimage. So for today's away day, we are heading to Scotland, and we are heading to Glasgow and Celtic Park, which I believe is... I want to say it's south of the river, but I don't know why I want to say it's south of the river. There's Ibrox. Celtic Park is somewhere. Where is Celtic? I'll tell you, it's north of the river. Good job I didn't do geography at school, isn't it? This might seem really, really dumb. Never really considered the fact the stadium is called Celtic Park and therefore there's probably a park next to it. But I can confirm, park by name, park by nature. Maybe actually the park is for car park because they've got some mighty fine slabs of tarmac here. However, no painting. Look, if you're not even going to bother painting your car park, is it really a car park at that point? I'm not sure it counts. Thought I'd just drop down to the road next to the stadium here just to review the car park. Yeah, I mean, come on, Celtic. You're not a small club. You can afford to paint lines on your car park. It's not that difficult. There is more car parking over here. I'm not sure if this really counts as part of the stadium. It's off to the south side of the main road, but they've got a velodrome. They've got Glasgow Rocks and Glasgow's Athletic Association and netball. You know, if you like netball, you can do netball. If you like athletics, you can do athletics. If you like rocks, you can do rock climbing. I should not work as a tour guide. Okay, I was hoping we could have a look in the park. There is a singular dot in this park, the Eastern Necropolis, and I mean, I've been to see... We've jumped the gun here. I am a little bit surprised that the Celtic Superstore and the ticket office aren't connected to the stadium, although I guess the stadium is an older one. Let's have a look. Can we have a look at the soup? They've labelled it a Superstore, which makes me angry immediately. I mean, it doesn't scream, welcome to our store and spend money, does it, this front door? What about the ticket office? Thoughts on the ticket office? I mean, does this even count as a ticket office? It looks like a temporary structure. I was expecting bigger things. Makes a bit more sense. The club superstore, still hate the word superstore, looks a lot better from the front. Yeah, okay, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. My eye has been caught by Janefield Street, which appears to just run through the stadium. Yeah, I mean, there's just a line through the state. Can we go and look at Janefield Street? Here is Janefield Street. This is definitely not a road that you can just drive down, is it, on a normal day? There is no way that your sat-nav is taking you this way at any point, but here we are. Here's, I think, one of the Celtic players after training. He's having a good time. Here is, I was going to say the stadium and look up and try and show it. No, we're in the stadium at the moment on Janefield Street. Okay, here is the stadium from the outside. I love this little mural with, I guess, is it just different captains or different players through time? I've noticed Scott Brown. I'm ashamed and embarrassed to admit I can't recognise many of the other footballers, so apologies, Celtic fans. I will also admit, didn't actually look that hard at it because I wanted to come and look at this entranceway. Is this the most grand entrance to a stadium ever? I mean, maybe ever's a bit of an exaggeration, but they've got like a glass prism at the front door, which feels almost pretentious. I like the brickwork, though. As for the inside of the stadium, here we are. It's got that old-school football stadium where it's grand, it's impressive, but it's not symmetrical, and it doesn't lack character. I'm a big fan. They've got some, I'd say, slightly average seat art, if we're being honest. They could maybe be a bit more adventurous with it. But in terms of just the vibe, I love it. Just a little bit of a heads up, if you're going for a Celtic away day or a home day, turn up early. These queues at the turnstiles are atrocious. Not a fan. Here is Celtic Park on match day, full of fans in all its blurry, smeary quality. Stadium itself, I mean, it looks cool. It's got the green. You'd know it's Celtic Stadium just from the appeals. They know the colour scheme they're leaning into. It's not symmetrical, but it does feel grand. It does feel like a coliseum of football. It's got that energy about it as a stadium. It feels like it's properly grown with the club over the years. And, I mean, look at the view you actually get of the city as well. It's just very, very pretty. If I'm going to be hypercritical of the away day, besides the parking, the park, and the stadium, there's not a lot else going on. The lack of lines on the car park offends me, but I like the idea of a street going through a stadium. Lack of footage maybe on the inside of the ground as well, but still feels like a proper football stadium. And for that reason, Celtic Park, I'm going to give you a very above average 7.25 out of 10. They've even got a 0.25 out of me. Okay, away day in the bag. Now let's get our head in the game. Just looking ahead to our other Europa League games, I do feel like our run of matches towards the end of this competition in the league stage are going to be easier. The Inter game's going to be difficult. Nice perhaps not going to be easy, but Partizan, PAOK, and also HNK Rijeka, please let me know. Rijeka. There must be a Rijeka fan out there who can let me know. Either way, they are games that I feel like we should be winning. We've got off to a good start here. A win against Celtic, it's far from going to guarantee us a spot in the next round. But with the games that we've got ahead, I feel like there wouldn't be as much pressure on us. Now, in terms of team selection for today's game, this is the lineup we are going with. You may have noticed here, Lucas Nemetsha up top, unhappy. Yeah, he wanted to go to play in Saudi Arabia. I told him he wasn't going to go. They bid £20 million. It's nowhere near enough, especially given the fact that the transfer window is open in Saudi Arabia and closed here. It would mean that we lose our starting striker and I'm unable to sign a replacement. That said, he has been scoring in the kind of European games he's played in. He's got 5 goals in 2 games. Even if he hasn't been scoring in the league, in this competition he's tended to shine. So, in spite of his unhappiness, he plays. Elsewhere in the team, the only other player who's missing from the starting 11 is Martel. He is, of course, one of our starting centre-backs. He's out for up to 2 weeks. With that in mind, the man who comes in is Bissek, who, until recently, had been training really, really well. Now I've clicked on his profile. There's loads of red angry arrows. That said, in terms of right centre-back options, he is the natural kind of second in line to the throne option in this position. He inherits that throne today, hoping he's going to do the job for us. Now, it is worth noting, with European football this year, we still have the homegrown player problem. I've only been able to register a squad of 21, so there are some empty spots on the bench. A couple of players who I would have loved to have registered, unable to be registered for the competition as well. But when I look at the starting 11, when I look at the options on the bench, I want to believe we've got enough to make it to the knockout stages comfortably of the Europa League. Ball on the far side, Zakharyan picks out Nemetsha, all on his lonesome, the striker, but holding it up nicely, lays it to Diamande, nets on the overlap. It's going to look to make something happen. He floats in, Drago is there, and the lanky centre mid heads that one against the post. We do now have a set piece to deal with here defensively. Celtic whipping the ball in towards the near post, headed away as far as McGregor, who's going to keep the ball alive here for the Scottish team. Bernabé with the ball, plays it across, nets reads it nicely. Now can we launch a counter-attack? Nemesha with options to his left and right, picks out Diamande. He's going to let it back to Nemesha. He could thread it through. He could go on his own. He did try to go on his own. Unfortunately, shot off target. Okay, we are halfway through this first half. That ball has got all the way through somehow. Nemesha's kept it alive. Diamande now, the Ivorian, whipping it in. Back post, keeper spills it. I mean, pressure is mounting on Celtic here. Celtic, the home side, have had 31% of the ball in this game. We have dominated possession. We're creating a ton. But so far, just that end product has been lacking. And as we know, in football and Football Manager, it only takes one shot to score a goal. Celtic might have their first shot of the game. Fortunately for us, it's gone over. 5 minutes left of the half. It's not all done yet. Don't go early to get your burger at halftime and skip the cues. No, there could be a goal coming. There could be a chance brewing. I'm going to hope it's going to be in our favour. Drago has Nemesha up ahead of him. Alex Scott on the underlap. The number 8 lays it inside to Scott. The number 7, he's making an amazing run, and well, unfortunately for him, end product lacking. Celtic looking to bring the ball forward here. O'Reilly through the middle, lays it wide to Torre. He dinks it into Dyson, who's one-on-one keeper, makes a massive stop. It was offside. Hadel didn't know that. Give the keeper some credit for the stop. And with 1 minute left of added time, we are going to go in at the break all level. That late chance, maybe a little reminder that, Celtic, they've got quality, they've got ability going forward. Going to try and demand a bit more from the players, but given what we've seen in that first half, I have to believe if we do more of the same, the goal is going to come. Kraus with the ball, lays it forward to Drago, now with Scott. We have some really good ball-playing players. We're seeing that on display, I feel like, in a lot of these highlights and chances that we're creating. Drago has a shot cannon off the crossbar for the second time in this game. He's knocking on the door. He could have had a hat-trick based on the highlights we've seen with Drago. Playing as that centre mid on attack. He has been, well, doing great besides the whole scoring thing, which is a somewhat important thing for someone to do on the pitch. Hopefully not someone in green and white, mind you. Zach Kyan, of course, playing in the centre mid position for today's game, playing as a Mazzala on the left-hand side. On this occasion, he's wandering over to the right. Tried to pick out Nemesha with a, well, rather ambitious ball. Did not find its intended target. And now Celtic looking to bring the ball out here. Toure on the overlap. Couple of options inside for him. Can we defend here? We've done a load of attacking play. Now, well, defensive solidity could be tested. We've won the ball well. Now is there a chance perhaps for a counter-attack? Scott bringing the ball forward. Wiedreago is there. Nemesha is in the middle. Difficult angle. He needs to find the ball into the box. It's blocked, but only as far away as Scott. Diamande. Wiedreago has hit the crossbar again. He's hit the crossbar 3 times in this game. I'm looking at the time, looking at the scoreline, thinking I really should be making some changes, but I'm not sure what I want to change here. I feel like we've been all over them, you know? I feel like on another day we're 3 or 4 goals up by now. Sadly, our finishing has been lacking. But maybe, just maybe, this is going to be the chance. Or maybe Bullett's going to kick it straight to Kobayashi, who's going to mop up the ball at the back. And now Celtic maybe looking to build something here. Nets, though, at left wing back. Wins the ball back superbly. Lays it forward to Diamande. Can't quite get there. Welsh on the, well, defensive duty. We're pressing high, trying to force a turnover in possession. Kraus, first to the second ball there. Now back with Nets. We've done so much in this game except score. Maybe that can change here, though. Scott takes down the ball superbly. Wiedreago is there. It's hitting Nemesha. It's in the back of the net. It's deflected off one of our players and gone in. But I'm not going to complain. We're just going to celebrate it. This is less a goal I'm happy about and more a goal I'm relieved about. It's been that kind of game for us. We've been all over them. Wiedreago had the shot. It deflects off Nemesha. It may have even hit the defender on the way through. Doesn't matter. We've taken the lead. And now I think I am just going to change up some personnel in this game. Zach Kyan looking a little bit tired. I'm going to bring in Felix Nemesha. Elsewhere, Kraus is playing well, but I feel like I want to rest him a little bit. I'm going to bring in Forsby. Right wing back. Bullett's not been great today. Let's bring in Nicholas Tower, who we, of course, have brought in to be our backup right wing back option. He's going to slot into the team. But I feel like with the changes, it's more about getting in fresh legs rather than, well, different legs. We don't need to change anything radically here. More of the same. Just come in and do the roles that your predecessors did, and I think this game is ours. That said, Celtic are on the attack. Torunariga, nice block. He had a questionable debut last time out. I feel like in this game, we've seen him do some good breaking down defensively for us. Nemesha playing the ball forward. Kobayashi has been called into action a lot, I feel like, at centre-back. He's read the ball well there. Ball played forward. Torunariga, I've just bigged you up, son. Don't miss your tackle like that. Celtic with the ball in a dangerous area. Can we get it away? Forsby, Nemesha, I am not relaxed. I am not enjoying it. This is a shocking clearance as well. Ball through the middle. They've scored. I'm now hoping the assistant's going to raise his flag. Please be offside. Please be offside. I don't think it is. And if Celtic have drawn level in this game, we've got 20 minutes to get the win here. The goal's going to count. Celtic can celebrate it. Nemesha's ball here was, well, questionable at best. But from there, we just didn't really pick up our men very well. Torunariga caught flat-footed. Decent finish into the bottom corner. Maybe Hadel could have done better. It's 1-1. It's only Celtic's second shot on target of the game. I've got shouty. I want to believe there's another goal in this game for us based on what we've seen. But you have to imagine with that goal scored, Celtic, they're going to feel galvanised. They're going to have a bit more energy about them. And that is not something that we ever want to be facing. Oh my word, what a ball to Scott. Can he pull it back? He can. Nemesha scores. Is he onside? I think he's onside. It looked closer than their goal, to be honest, but it is going to count. We respond immediately. Sigh of relief again. Forsby with the ball, lays it to Wiedreago. He laid this ball through to Alex Scott. What a pass that is. And then Scott just pulls it back to Lucas Nemesha. He scores. It's 2-1 again. That is now 7 goals for Nemesha in 3 Europa League games so far this season. This man loves this competition. Just need him to take the form from these games into league games, and we'll be dandy. It is going to finish here 2-1. Not a convincing result. Not a great... Well, I was going to say not a great performance. It was actually a really good performance. It just didn't really feel like it. When you look at the XG story, we were dominant. We were by far and away the better team. 70% of the ball as the away team is absolutely mad. Now, you know what? I played it down. That is a really good result. The performance was great. Maybe the result less so. With that result, we do go up into 9th. Just a reminder, top 24 teams in this format go into the knockout stages. Top 8 skip the first knockout round. which I would quite like to do. Somewhat unsurprising, Lucas Nemecha gets man of the match. Give him some praise. Good result, good performance in front of goal. And now we have to dust ourselves off and get ready to do it all again in 2 more days' time. Our next game is against Borussia Dortmund. They have been perennial underachievers in this save game. Season 1, they finished 8th. Last season, they finished 10th. They're currently in 14th. Vincent Kompany is their manager. His job is in danger. Their media prediction was 5th, and we are going to hope to further compound their misery today. I say, their 14th were 3rd. Worth noting, only 6 points the difference between the two teams. Yeah, it's very close in the midfield. That said, going to take them on. It's an important game for us away from home. Hoping we can make it 2 wins for 2 today. Okay, folks, we are back. Game number 2, Borussia Dortmund away. We are not doing away day for this game. I feel like we have a soft cap on 1 away day per episode. And also, I am sure at some point in the future, we will take on Dortmund again away from home and have hopefully a higher stakes game than this one. Not that this game isn't high stakes, but this is not the Dortmund team that I expected to come up against frequently in this save game. In fact, I'm disappointed at how bad they've been. We are playing today on a Sunday, having played, of course, in the Europa League. It means that we know how everyone else has got on. We are guaranteed to be in the European spots, but if we win this game today, we go top of the league. I would like to go top of the league. That would be fun. That said, I am fully aware to win away from home against even a Dortmund team that had been struggling is no small feat. Looking at our team, we rested up the players between the previous game and this one. It was only 3 days off, but the good news for us is players are pretty much ready, fit, and raring to go. And with that in mind, no intention of changing anything here. One player who I do want to build up a little bit of praise for before we get into this game is Luca Netz. This man, 2 player of the matches in 7 games from left back, 7.64 rating. He has been absolutely outstanding for us on the left-hand side. Great suggestion by the comment section to sign him. Been very pleasantly surprised. His defensive limitations haven't been exposed yet. Maybe going to be tested a bit away from home here against Dortmund, but with him in great form, and to be honest, a lot of the team in very good form, when you look at the average ratings for the last 5 games, I'm feeling quietly confident going into this one. I think it goes without saying that our aim for this year when it comes to league position is a top 4 finish. I want Champions League football. Whilst we could go top if we were to win here, I'm under no illusions. We are in a very, very tight Bundesliga league right now in terms of team placements and kind of points between teams. Our team is not ready to win this division, I don't think. At least not without the perfect storm occurring. And while that perfect storm, it's not brewing. In fact, it could be the imperfect storm because Dortmund have scored after 12 minutes. Every maybe 5 seasons, there's a league season that comes along where the team that wins the league maybe isn't the best team, but all the other good teams didn't do so good. This is a season where that could happen again. But if we want to be that underdog team that capitalise on everyone else capitulating, we need to win games like this one. To find ourselves a goal down is certainly less than ideal. Bissek to take the free kick. Lays it across to Taruna Riga, inside 2 Netz. I've just spent a minute bigging him up pre-match, so it'd be very on brand if he now has an absolute stinker of a game. The curse of the commentator could be very much real. Bina Gittins already has 1 assist. Bissek wins a really big header there. Nemecha plays on the ball to nobody. Not sure what he's doing there. We won't question it. We've dealt with the ball for now, although Dortmund coming back at us again. Bino Gittins, options queuing up in the middle. Bullet. Well, I thought he won the ball fairly, and then he's... Sorry, what's just happened? What? Bullet has won the ball there, and then just not gone after the ball. In 3D, it looked wonky as hell. What? I mean, they've scored. That's what's happened for the audio listeners. Bullet puts in a tackle. I thought a penalty was going to be given there. Instead, Bullet just forgets that he can use his legs. And off the back of him, not getting to the ball, Bino Gittins assists Makoko. Those 2 linked up for the first goal. They've now linked up for the second. We're only halfway through this first half, and we have got a mountain to climb. And whilst, unlike last episode where we went to the 3 striker formation, I feel like going to that system now might be a bit premature. It is lingering in the back of my mind that sooner rather than later that we might be calling upon our old friend, that the stupid attacking formation that worked once, to see if it can work twice. Haven't called upon it in an off-episode match. But you know what? There's a time and place, and I think when the cameras are on, when the microphone is picking up my voice, that's the time to use it. We Drea go. We don't need to use it yet. That's a great finish. We've scored from the kickoff highlight. He hit the woodwork 3 times last game. That is much better finishing from him, isn't it? Netz with the ball, Diamande lays it inside, Zakharyan dinks the ball forward, Rodrigo takes it down, hits it, And it's in off the underside of the crossbar. It's beautiful. Keeper's not stopping that. We're back in this game. Scott laying it back to Bissek. Now with Kraus. He's going to look to switch the ball towards Diamande. Wolf reads that well, though, and nods it back to the goalkeeper. At 2-1, this game is very much open for business. I feel like there's going to be more goals in this game than what we've seen so far, surely. Bono Gittins, of course, on for a hat-trick of assists. Makoko on for a hat-trick of goals, perhaps more importantly. Ball switch, Diamande wins it. Nemesha, of course, hasn't scored in the league yet this year. Going to keep mentioning that. He has been bitterly disappointing. Diamande, playing out on the left-hand side today, the Ivorian, playing as a winger. He is dispossessed by Julian Brandt. Everyone's favourite German player, of course, Julian Brandt. Yeah, that's a reference. Makoko, he's got his hat-trick. You know what? For doing a reference to the Julian Brandt, yeah, maybe I deserve that. And if you sat there thinking, what is that reference? Just search work the space Julian Brandt. It will probably pop up. It's some of the best commentary ever, unlike what we've just experienced in this game where I failed to mention Makoko was offside. So it is still 2-1 after all of that. 10 minutes left of the first half. There has actually only been 3 shots on target in this game. Every single one of them has hit the back of the net. Can that trend continue here? Lucas Nemesha bringing the ball forward. Option inside in Diamande. He picks him out. Diamande, we Drea go. Scores his second of the game. It is 2-2. I'll admit it. I thought he was finishing with suspect last game, but if he's finishing with suspect this game, I think we have to show some credit to Wiedrego in this game here. He's got 2 goals from centre mid, and well, Felix Nemesha, the centre mid Nemesha, who's currently not even starting for us, he might not be starting ever again at his current rate. He's been so disappointing for us, it feels like. And, well, Wiedrego has slotted into that role of goal-scoring centre mid rather well, it feels like. Half-time in this game here, 2-2, banger of a first half. Not a load of chances, but some sublime finishing. Not going to change anything too radically. Going to tell the players I'm happy with the performance so far. Only a minute into this second half, already the action is resuming. Ball forward, Bullet wins the header. Now with Bissek at centre-back for us. He lays it to Taruna Riga. We are the team with momentum. We've got 2 goals without reply. Could we make it a third? Could we take the lead for the first time in this game? Wiedrego, of course, now he's on for a hat-trick as well. I feel like one of Wiedrego or Makoko set to get a hat-trick this game. Going to hope it's going to be our player. Julian Brandt plays it forward. Makoko has got the hat-trick. I can't believe it. That has only happened because I've mentioned it. Dortmund knocking the ball around well. Julian Brandt in the wide area, brings it forward, cutting inside. Intelligent ball in, and then Makoko gets his hat-trick. Yeah, that Makoko, but he's quite good in Football Manager. If you're wondering about Makoko in this save game, he's only 20 years old, just as a reminder. Look how ridiculously good this man is. 6 goals in 8 games going into this. He now has 9 goals in 9 games. And I'm livid, and I might be about to get more annoyed, because Dortmund have now got a corner as well. It's Marco Reus over it, whipping it in. It's headed away, at least initially. But we've still got plenty of Dortmund players to contend with in our penalty area. Wolf, his efforts blocked. Tadel collects. Still 40 minutes left in this game. Let's not panic just yet. Let's not get too worked up. There's time to turn this ship around. That said, I think I am going to make some changes here. Nets, by the way, he's on a 6.1 rating. Get him off the pitch. He has been so disappointing in this game for us here. Elsewhere the team, Alex Scott's been poor. I'm going to bring in Adriano. Nemec's been poor as well. Demirovic, on you come. At striker, Taruna Riga's just given away the ball. Makoko nearly scored a 4th while I was making changes. Everything's fine, I am calm. Throw in for Dortmund on the far side. I was hoping that the highlight was just going to end, but no, it's going to keep on going. We head it away initially. Wiedrego, though, loses the ball. Flick pulls the trigger. Hadel holds onto it. This is a lively game, isn't it? It's 3-2, and you wouldn't be surprised if there was more goals in this game. Arian B slotting in at left back for us. Can he make some magic happen? Demirovic, fresh off the bench, and well, wouldn't you know it? He's not quite up to match speed yet. That pass, absolutely shocking. Dortmund with the ball at the back, laying it around. Flick, of course, our former man Flick wearing that number 5 shirt. Would be painful to lose to him here. We've made a habit of selling players to Dortmund. We've made a habit of seeing Dortmund underperform in the league. But a win here might galvanise them. It might give them some momentum. And well, if Makoko gets another, I'm going to be fuming. Hadel saves it on this occasion. Bullet at right back with the ball for us. Lays it inside to Bissek. Building it out from the back just like we like to. Kraus. Zach Hyen was the intended recipient. He's not picked it out. He's picked out Julian Brandt, who's now bringing the ball forward. Lays it forward to Makoko. Hadel has to make another stop. It was offside. offside wouldn't have counted. Hadel didn't know that. With 20 minutes left here, we have still only had 2 shots on target. And whilst they've both ended up in the back of the net, I'm thinking it's time to unleash. Well, you know what it's time to unleash. You can see it on your screen. We're going to go with the super attacking system. We're going to try and make something happen here. I'm going to take off Diamande. I think Nemesha is going to come in for us at striker. You might be wondering where Morstead is today. Giving him a little bit of a rest between games. He's been playing a lot of minutes on off the bench and for our youth team. Zach Kyan, I'm going to take off for Tillman, I think, as well. And I think Tillman is probably best suited to play as the target forward in the middle. We're going to go direct. We're going to go for our super attacking system. It worked that last episode, didn't it? Maybe it can work 2 for 2. Of course, with this system, we are now going to leave ourselves exposed at the back. And we've already seen Dortmund quite good going forward, but we've just simply put not created enough here. Need to get some more attackers on and try and make something happen. We Drago, Zach Kyan, Diamande on the overlap. Options in the middle. It's crossed into Mirovic. Heads just wide of the post. 15 minutes left. It's been an even game. It's been a hard-fought game. Is there to be any late drama, any late action? I'm going to hope there is going to be, but that timer in the top left is continuing to tick upwards. 4 minutes of added time, 3 strikers on the pitch, and no goals to show for it. It's going to finish here. Borussia Dortmund 3, Union Berlin 2. And, I mean, when you look at the XG story, it was a very, very even story, but sadly for us, when you concede 3, it's very rare you're going to win a game. It's very rare you're going to get points from a game, especially away from home. And defensively, we just didn't look great today. So with that result, we do remain in 6th place. That chance to go top of the league is blown. As for Dortmund, they now move up to 12th. They're only 3 points behind us. Yeah, this league is ridiculously close. We could be next episode top of the league when I come back. We could be back next episode when I return in 15th. It's that kind of season. Now, in terms of when we are going to be back, that is a fantastic question. If we look at our upcoming schedule, what games have we got coming up? Let's have a peek together, shall we? We've got Internacional at home. I'm tempted to do that game. Last year, they finished 5th. They're currently 11th in Serie A, but nevertheless, they're one of the big boys of European football. I feel like you have to come back for those kind of matches. We're going to end things there for today. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. We're going to be back tomorrow with more action here at Union Berlin. Until then, until next time, it's me, Jack. I'll see you all again on the next one. I'm out.